Hi everybody. So today we're going to be making a practice drawing using perspective. So if you think about perspective as meaning a person's viewpoint, this is going to be kind of like making a drawing from a particular point of view. We're just going to be making drawings of boxes for right now, but we will get into more complicated things later on. So for today, what you're going to need is you're going to need a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, even like a book or a folder, something with a straight edge, you will need. You cannot do this freehand. You have to use some kind of a straight edge to make perfectly straight lines with this, okay? You'll need that. You'll need a pencil and a sheet of paper. So we're going to be making boxes that look three-dimensional using perspective. The very first thing you're going to need to do is make a little dot in the middle of your paper, kind of like so. You don't have to measure where this is. You can just kind of eyeball it, put it in the middle here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go down about an inch or so from this dot, and I'm going to make a rectangle using my ruler here. So I'm just going to go down a little bit. I'm going to make a rectangle. I don't want to make this huge because I want to be able to have space on either side of this rectangle here. So I'm just going to make my rectangle about 2 inches wide and like an inch, inch and a half or so high. So about like so. Again, make sure you're using a ruler for this. It'll be, everything will look so much better with a ruler. So once you get to something like this, we have one side of our box that we are going to draw here. And now we're going to draw, we're going to put our ruler now on our dot right here. And we're going to put our ruler on the corner of this rectangle right here, like so. And we're going to draw a line not all the way to our dot, but I'm going to stop it a little bit before. So I'm going to leave like a little bit of space like that. And I'm going to do the same thing now on the other side. So again, lining up ruler with dot and with the corner of that box. And I'm going to just, whoops, I'm going to then now extend back towards my dot here like so. And then my last little step on this one is I'm just going to connect these 2 points here with a horizontal line. So if this were a drawing of a box, this would be one side of our box, this would be the top side of our box over here, okay? So pretty straightforward so far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make another one over here to the left of that first one. I want you to leave, again, about an inch or so of space between this one and the next one over here. So if you're using a ruler, you can simply just put your ruler like this so that one side lines up with your rectangle over here, and then just make another line over here on this side. And that'll give you a nice, about an inch of space like so. And then I'm going to make it the rest of my box over here. If it's not exactly the same height as the first one, it's totally fine. You can change the shape of it a little bit. Make sure that the entire rectangle, though, fits on this sheet of paper, though. So we're going to go like so, and then close off the top over here. So when we did this box right here, we went from this top corner back towards our point, from this top corner over here back towards our point, and then that was it. Here we're going to do the same general idea. The only difference is that these lines are going to seem more extreme here. So we're going to start from our upper left corner here, ruler on upper left corner, ruler and our point over here. Make sure that you are lining up those two things here, okay? And we're going to extend back like so. And again, I'm just going to kind of like in that with like a bit of space in between here like that. And I'm going to do the same thing now to this side over here. So ruler on this point, ruler on our dot over here. And then extend back. And again, just kind of ending it over here like that. And then last but not least, we also have this corner down here, because this corner down here is visible also. We can't draw from this corner because we would be drawing through our shape, but from here we can see. So we're going to put our ruler on this bottom right corner, and also again ruler on our dot over here like so. And we're going to just kind of extend back like that. Once I get to here, I now have to close off the back side of this shape. The way that I did it on this one is once I had my lines going back towards my dot, I drew in a nice, perfectly horizontal line right here. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to connect these 2 points here with a horizontal line. So I'm going to put my ruler up here, and I'm just going to connect these points with a horizontal line. So kind of like so. And if I have extra leftover stuff, like on the ends, I can just go ahead and erase that part. And the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to now also connect these 2 points, but with a vertical line. So I'm going to just make a vertical line in between these 2 points. In your drawing, there is a decent chance, depending on where you put things, that this side right here might be behind the first building that we drew. That's okay. You can even kind of draw through that first box here just to kind of see and make it kind of make sense to you. But just to kind of go back and kind of restate some of these things here. We started with our straight up rectangle. We have these lines going back from the corners towards our point, corners towards our point, corners towards our point. And then we close it off with, again, another horizontal line on the top and then a vertical line on the bottom over here. In drawing like this, there's no guessing. We only have vertical lines, horizontal lines, and if our lines are at all diagonal, they're going back to our dot. So if you're ever making a diagonal line and it's not going to your dot, something is wrong here. We want to make sure that there's no guesswork involved here. Your lines are just straight up and down, straight across, or going back towards your dot. So we're going to make one more over here on this side. And on this side, I might make this one a little bit lower just to kind of do something different with it. So again, I'm going to make sure there's about 1 inch of space different over here. And I'm going to make a line over here. But again, I'm going to make this one like a smidge lower than the first one that I did just to kind of make something a little bit different. So I'm going to go across. Again, making sure to keep my lines nice and either vertical or horizontal, keeping them parallel with the edges of my paper here. And then I'll make my other one go like right there. And I'll just erase that little bit of extra stuff. So just like over here, the only difference is now I'm on the right-hand side. I'm going to be going from these 3 corners going back towards my dot over here. So I'll start from the far side over here, lining up that point with our point over here. And I will extend back, not so far, just a little bit, like that. I can just kind of fan my ruler down like this so that I line up my ruler with my point here and my point here. And extend out a bit. And then last but not least, line up my ruler with this point and this bottom point down here. And extend back a bit like so. And then the last thing here I'm going to do is I'm going to close off this shape. So I'm going to make sure that the top of this here is a horizontal line. And again, I can erase my little leftover parts. And then I'm going to make sure that this bottom part here is a vertical line. If you look here, if I make my ruler is now vertical. If I connected it to where I drew, I would actually be kind of angling my ruler like this. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that this is a nice vertical line right here. And if I need to extend this line out a little bit, I can just go ahead and do it like that. So when we're looking at this now, we now have 3 pretty 3-dimensional looking boxes over here. We talked about how this is drawn in perspective. If you can kind of think about perspective as being another word for your point of view. In this point of view, we are looking right at that point. We're standing right in the middle of this box right here, staring straight ahead. That's where our eye line is. So since our eye line is here, we're able to look down and see the tops of these boxes over here, okay? The other important thing is that the backs of our shape always look like the front of our shape. So if the front of my shape has a horizontal line on the top here, the back of my shape has a horizontal line on the top. If the front of my shape has a vertical line on this side, the back of my shape has a vertical line on this side over here. Make sense? I'm gonna have you now do, I want you to practice 3 more complicated types of shapes, and we're going to put those above, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to make one up here at the top. I'm going to make this one an upside down triangle. So I'm just going to draw in an upside down triangle right here. So let me get this thing in with my ruler. So we're gonna have a triangle up here. We're gonna make a circle right here. I don't have a circle template handy. If you happen to have like a cup or something, you can trace a circular shape here. We're gonna put a circle in the middle. And then we are going to put over here a backwards L. So I'm going to make I'll use my ruler here again. So I'm going to make a shape that is kind of like a block L, but backwards. So I'm gonna put one side here, and then one side going across, and then one side going up here like so, and then one side going across like this, and then one side going up like this, and then I'm going to close off the top right here. So I want you to practice these 3 shapes. If they come out terrible, that's okay. I just want you giving it a shot. Remember, all you're doing is you're going from the corners to our dot over here, and you're making the back side of your shape look like the front side of your shape. On all of these, the front side of our shape is a rectangle. Over here, they are not rectangular. So the back sides of these shapes should all look just like the front sides of those shapes. And then all you're doing is going from the corners back towards your dot. The only place where it gets a little bit tricky is on our circle here where we have no corners. But I think you should be able to figure this out here, okay? So give this a shot, and I can't wait to see the results. Thank you so much. Bye.